I died choking on my own blood, the cold tile of my kitchen floor pressing into my cheek like a lover's indifferent hand, while my husband's voice, calm, almost tender, whispered to my sister that it was finally over, that they were free. The last thing I saw was Lily's face hovering above me, her eyes wide not with horror, but with a flicker of relief, like she'd just aced a test she didn't study for. And then, nothing, until the blare of my alarm clock yanked me back, 6 months earlier, into the body of the woman I used to be, heart pounding with the ghost of that betrayal still fresh in my veins. It was a Tuesday in late spring, the kind of muggy Chicago evening where the air clings to your skin like regret. I just clocked out of my 12-hour shift at Northwestern Memorial, feet throbbing in my sensible Crocs, scrubs stained with the faint yellow of someone else's bad decisions. Nursing wasn't glamorous, endless IVs, harried doctors barking orders, patients who mistook exhaustion for indifference, but it paid the bills for the cozy 2-bedroom in Lincoln Park that Jake and I had scraped together after 5 years of marriage. Or so I thought. I remember fumbling with my keys at the door, the weight of the day sloughing off me like dead skin. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Lily, my little sister, the golden child who'd breezed through life on charm and cheekbones, texting, "Hey, grabbing drinks with Jake later?
Miss you."
I smiled faintly, thumbing a quick sounds fun rain check, dead on my feet. Lily was 25 to my 32, fresh out of some half-assed marketing gig in the city, crashing on our couch more nights than not because rent's a bitch. She adored Jake, always had called him Big Bro with that teasing lilt, the one that made me roll my eyes but secretly warmed me. Family, right? That's what we were. Pushing open the door, the apartment smelled wrong. Not the usual mix of Jake's cheap cologne and takeout Thai, but something sharper, sweat, perfume, the metallic tang of secrets spilled. The living room lamp cast a warm glow, but shadows danced funny across the walls, like they were hiding something. I kicked off my shoes, padding toward the bedroom, my mind already drifting to the leftover lasagna in the fridge. The door was ajar, and that's when it hit me, not the sight, but the sound. A low moan, rhythmic, like the labored breaths of a patient fighting for air. My stomach twisted, but I pushed it open anyway, because denial is a hell of a drug. There they were. Jake. My Jake. With his broad shoulders and that tattoo of a compass on his bicep I'd traced 1,000 times, tangled in our sheets with Lily, her legs wrapped around him like vines claiming a trellis, her head thrown back in a gasp that echoed in my skull. The room spun, the king-sized bed we'd picked out at IKEA mocking me from the center of it all. Jake's eyes met mine first, widening not in shame, but in animal panic, like a deer spotting the hunter's scope. "Emma," he started, scrambling up, the sheet pooling around his waist like a white flag of surrender. Lily bolted upright, clutching a pillow to her chest, her face crumpling into that practiced pout she used on Dad when she wanted extra allowance.
Ink.
Oh God. It's not, but it was. It was everything. The late nights Jake worked overtime at the construction firm. The way Lily's stories always looped back to how supportive he was, how he got her in ways I never did. The whispers I'd overheard last month, muffled through the bathroom door, about finally making it work. My knees buckled, and I gripped the doorframe, the wood biting into my palm. This wasn't just betrayal, it was a scalpel to the gut, precise and personal. In my past life, the one that ended with me slumped in a pool of my own vomit, Poisoned by the antifreeze they'd slipped into my evening tea because I was in the way of their perfect little future, I'd screamed. I'd thrown things. I'd begged, like a fool, for explanations that never came. Jake had spun it masterfully. You work too much.
Eminência.
We're drifting. Lily just understands. And Lily, with tears streaming, had sobbed about how it happened by accident, how she loved us both. They'd played me like a symphony, building to that crescendo where I signed over the deed to the apartment, my inheritance from Mom, the one nest egg I'd guarded like a fortress. And then, when I wouldn't budge on the life insurance policy, they'd ended it.
Clean.
Quiet. A tragic accident for the overworked nurse who popped too many pills.
But not this time.
This time, as I stood there in the doorway of what should have been my death sentence 6 months from now, a cold clarity washed over me. The shock wasn't grief, it was fuel. I could feel the echo of that kitchen floor under my cheek, the burn of betrayal in my throat. I'd come back for a reason. Not to forgive, not to heal, to burn it all down. What the fuck is this? My voice came out steady.
Low.
Like the hum of a ventilator in the ICU. No hysterics. No tears. Just the weight of foreknowledge pressing down. Jake lunged for his boxers, stumbling over the nightstand, knocking over the framed photo of us at our wedding, me in that thrift store lace. Him grinning like he'd won the lottery. Babe, listen, it's not what it looks like. We were just fucking, I supplied, crossing my arms over my stained scrubs. Lily whimpered, pulling the blanket higher, her mascara already smudging into raccoon eyes. God, she was good at that, the innocent victim routine. In my first life, it had worked. I'd comforted her, held her while she cried, even as Jake packed my bags. Sisters stick together, right? Bullshit. Emma. Please, Lily whispered, reaching out a manicured hand. I swear, it was one time. Jake and we got drunk. And I laughed. A sharp, brittle sound that echoed off the walls. One time? That's rich.
Lil.
Coming from the girl who's been eye-fucking my husband since the day you moved in. I stepped closer, the carpet muffling my socks. But each footfall felt like thunder in my chest. They shrank back, a matched set of cheaters in their natural habitat. Jake straightened, pulling on his bravado like a second skin. Look, you're always gone. 12-hour shifts. Call nights, hell. Sometimes you're not even here for dinner. A man has needs.
Emma.
Lily was just. There. There it was. The first thread to unravel. In my past life, that line had gutted me, made me question every late shift, every promotion I'd chased to keep us afloat.
But now?
It was ammunition. I knew the rest, how they'd plotted it over months. Jake siphoning money from our joint account into a secret fund, Lily forging emails to make it look like I was spiraling, late payments, missed therapy sessions I never had. The poison was just the finale, after I'd confronted them and threatened divorce. They'd chosen murder over alimony. Smart. In a sociopathic way. You're right, I said, surprising them both. Jake's brow furrowed. Lily's lip quivered. I am gone a lot. Building a life we could actually afford, while you two play house on my dime. I glanced around the room. The designer throw pillows Lily had gifted us. The new flat screen Jake swore was on sale. all bought with a credit card I'd maxed out for emergencies.
Ink.
Don't, Lily started, but I cut her off with a raised hand. Save it. Both of you. I turned on my heel, walking out like I owned the wreckage. Because this time, I did. As I grabbed my keys and coat from the hall closet, their voices chased me, Jake's bluster turning to pleas, Lily's sobs dialing up to 11. But I didn't look back. Not yet.
Outside.
The rain had started, a fine Chicago mist that soaked through my scrubs in seconds. I slid into my beat-up Honda, the engine coughing to life like an old smoker. My hands trembled on the wheel, not from hurt, but from the electric buzz of possibility. I'd woken up that morning yesterday. God. Time was a loop now, in this body. The alarm jolting me from a dream of that final gasp. 6 months. That's all I had before the timeline snapped back. Before they tried to kill me again. Plenty of time to rewrite the ending. First stop, the bank. Our joint account, $8 for 72.39. Give or take. I knew because I'd balanced it obsessively in my first life, right up until Jake started the diversions. By ATM light, I withdrew $4,000 in cash, the machine whirring like a conspirator. Half the nest egg, gone in 20s. Let them scramble. Next,
My phone.
I texted my lawyer cousin, Mia, emergency meeting tomorrow. Divorce papers. Don't ask.
Then.
Deleted the thread with Lily. No more check-ins. No more big sis bullshit. As I drove aimlessly through the slick streets, Wrigleyville's neon blurring past, the plan crystallized. Revenge wasn't a scream in the night, it was a scalpel. Slow and surgical. I'd dismantle them piece by piece, financially, emotionally, legally. Make them feel the chokehold of their own lies. But as the adrenaline ebbed, doubt crept in. Was this me? The Emma who'd volunteered at free clinics? Who'd baked cookies for Jake's crew on birthdays? Or was this the ghost of the woman they'd murdered? Clawing her way out? I pulled over near the lakefront, the dark water lapping like whispers. In the rear view, my eyes stared back, hollow.
Determined.
They'd taken everything once. Not twice. By dawn, I was crashing at Mia's loft in Wicker Park, a pot of coffee brewing as she slid the preliminary papers across the kitchen island. Jesus.
Ink. What happened?
You look like you saw a ghost. I sipped the bitter brew, staring at the skyline.
Worse.
I lived one. She didn't press. Lawyers and nurses, we both knew when to tria. As I signed my name, Emma Riley, soon to be Thompson again, the weight lifted a fraction. Step 1. Untangle the knot. But Jake and Lily? They weren't done calling. My phone lit up like a slot machine voicemails. Texts. A missed FaceTime from Lily's tear-streaked face. Please.
Ink.
Let's talk.
We can fix this.
Fix this? Like a leaky faucet? I blocked them both. The screen going dark with a satisfying click. Week 1 blurred into a grind. I picked up extra shifts, crashing in on-call rooms when the apartment felt too haunted. Jake tried showing up at the hospital once, flowers in hand, that sheepish grin he'd weaponized for years. Security bounced him. No visitors after hours. Sir, and I watched from the nurse's station, heart steady as a metronome. No rage. Just calculation. Lily went radio silent after that. But I knew her playbook. In my first life, she'd shown up at my doorstep 2 days post-discovery. All apologies and hugs, planting the seeds of doubt. He's not worth it.
Sis.
You deserve better. Then, behind my back, she'd coach Jake on how to play the long game, gaslight me into thinking I was the problem. This time, I preempted it. I called Dad, spun a vague tale of rough patch, and got him to cut off Lily's allowance. She's got to stand on her own, he grumbled, oblivious to the rot. By month 2, the crack showed. Jake's texts turned nasty. You're being a bitch.
Emma. This is on you.
Lily resurfaced on social, posting cryptic quotes about toxic family with filters that screamed performative pain. I followed her accounts from a burner app, a digital ghost in her feed. That's how I caught the first slip, a photo of them at a dive bar in Logan Square. Arms around each other. Caption found my people. My people. The theft stung. But it confirmed what I already knew. They were accelerating, thinking I'd crumble. My counterpunch? The evidence. I'd started documenting everything in a locked notes app, screenshots, voice memos of Jake's voicemails, saved before the block. Even a discreet ring cam I'd installed at the apartment door before moving out. The footage caught them moving my stuff into storage, Lily in my favorite sweater, Jake pocketing a watch I'd inherited from Grandpa.
Petty? Sure.
But courts loved petty. And then there was the money trail. A quick dive into our statements. I'd frozen the joint account, citing fraud concerns, revealed the siphons, $2,300 to a consulting LLC in Lily's name. Consulting for what? Turning tricks as a homewrecker? I hired a PI on the sly, $500 for my solo savings, and got the report a week later. Jake's affair with Lily dated back 18 months, overlapping our 5th anniversary trip to Napa. They'd even opened a joint savings in Milwaukee, out of state, probably to dodge Illinois divorce laws. Nausea hit, but so did resolve. This wasn't just infidelity, it was premeditated. Like the poison. I could almost taste it, sweet, insidious, the cherry flavor masking the death. Month 3, escalation. I filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences, but attached the financials as exhibits. Jake's lawyer called Mia, blustering about extortion. Mia laughed it off. Tell your client to lawyer up properly.
Meanwhile,
Lily got evicted from her sublet when her roommate, Reed, sugar daddy, bailed. She emailed me from a new address. I have nothing.
Eminência.
Please. For Mom's sake.
Mom.
The invocation twisted the knife. Our mother had died of cancer 3 years back, leaving me the apartment and Lily a pittance, because she knew who'd shoulder the load. I'd shouldered it. All right, paid Lily's tuition scraps, bailed her out of DUIs. And this was the thanks. I replied once. Terse, earn it. Then forwarded the email to Dad, letting him see the manipulation firsthand. The tension built like a storm front. Jake started drinking heavier. I saw it in the bar tabs on his card, the ones I'd flagged before canceling. Lily posted job hunt selfies, but my PI tailed her to auditions for low-rent reality shows. Cheaters' Anonymous knockoffs.
Desperate. Perfect.
By month 4, I was sleeping better, the ghost in my chest quieter. I'd sublet a studio in Ukrainian village, stocked with plants and a killer espresso machine, rewards for the new Emma, the one who ran marathons on weekends instead of nursing hangovers. Work noticed too. My evals spiked. Whispers of a charged nurse bump. Life. Reclaiming its shape. But they weren't idle. One rainy Thursday, as I scrubbed in for a double bypass. My phone vibrated in my locker.
A photo. Me.
Laughing with a colleague at the nurses' lounge happy hour. Attached note from an unknown number. Slut. Lily's work. No doubt, petty recon to rattle me. It worked. A little. That night, alone with a glass of Pinot, I let the what-ifs creep in. What if I just walked away? Let karma handle it? But then I remembered the floor. The blood. The whisper.
No.
They didn't get to win twice. So I struck back. Anonymously tipped Jake's boss about the LLC, embezzlement vibes.
Right?
Construction firms hated that shit. He got a suspension. Pending audit. Lily? I accidentally CC'd her on a mass family email about Mom's estate, highlighting the clause that revoked benefits for moral turpitude. Dad followed up, freezing her card. Their texts, unblocked for intel, turned frantic. What the hell? Emma? You're ruining us.
Jake.
I hate you. Lily. Good. Hate was honest. Better than the lies. Month 5, the confrontation loomed. Mia advised caution, don't engage till the hearing, but I couldn't resist a poke. I showed up at the apartment unannounced. Keys still working, oversight on their part. They were mid-argument, Jake yelling about money, Lily crying into a pint of Ben & Jerry's. I cleared my throat from the doorway. Miss me? They froze. A tableau of domestic dysfunction. Jake recovered first, face reddening. You got some nerve. Breaking in here. It's my place, I said mildly, stepping inside. The air reeked of stale pizza and despair. Lily bolted upright, eyes puffy.
Ing.
Save the waterworks. I dropped the PI report on the coffee table. Pages splaying like a gutted fish. 18 months. Joint account in Wisconsin. And, oh, the best part, antifreeze solubility in tea. Fun fact from my rounds. Their faces drained of color. Jake lunged for the papers. But I was faster, snatching them back. What the fuck is this? He snarled. Your insurance policy. On me. I met his eyes. Saw the flicker, recognition.
Fear.
In my first life, denial had been his shield.
Now.
It cracked. You think we're stupid? After Napa, Lily sobbed outright, collapsing onto the couch. It wasn't supposed to, we didn't. Didn't what? Kill me. The words hung, heavy as lead. Jake's jaw worked, but no sound came. Victory. Bitter on my tongue. I know everything, I continued, voice steel. The calls, the forgeries, the way you practiced that tragic accident speech in the mirror. I saw it all. Because I lived it. They exchanged glances, confusion, then dawning horror. Lily whispered, "What are you talking about?" I leaned in, close enough to smell Jake's fierce sweat. Let's just say, second chances are a bitch. Now get out. Both of you. Or the cops get the full file, murder plot included. They scrambled like rats, grabbing coats and keys. Lily shooting me a look that was half hate, half awe. The door slammed, and silence fell, broken only by the tick of the wall clock. I sank onto the couch, their warmth still indenting the cushions. Adrenaline crashed, leaving me hollow. Was this justice? Or just another layer of poison? 2 weeks later, the hearing. Jake contested the divorce, claiming emotional abuse. Ironic, given the bruises I'd hidden in life won from his frustrations. Lily testified as a character witness, spinning tales of my neglect. The judge, a no-nonsense woman from the South Side, saw through it. Counsel, if this is your evidence, save us all some time. I won. The apartment, the savings, alimony pending his reinstatement. As we filed out, Jake cornered me in the hall, voice low. You think you're clever? We'll bury you. I smiled. The first real one in months. Try it. See what rises. That night, alone in my reclaimed home, I poured a drink, not tea, and toasted the mirror. To Emma 2.0. But victory tasted off. Lily's last email. Unread till then. It wasn't just us.
Eminência.
Dad knew. About the money. He pushed Jake to.
Handle it.
Attached, a voice clip. Dad's gravelly tone. Get her out of the picture. Son. The girl's unstable anyway.
Twist.
The betrayal ran deeper. A family tree rotten at the roots. Dad, who'd played the grieving widower, all while eyeing Mom's estate like a vulture. He'd funded Lily's whims, pressured Jake into the marriage for stability, then greenlit the endgame when I wouldn't play ball. Rage renewed. Sharper. One more thread to pull. Final act. The reunion dinner I'd faked for closure. Dad's favorite steakhouse in River North. White tablecloths and overpriced Bordeaux. He showed. Smug as ever. Lily and Jake in tow like reluctant plus ones. Family first, he boomed, clapping my shoulder. I waited till dessert. The tiramisu untouched. To family, I said, raising my glass. Then slid the voice clip across the table via AirDrop, public folder. For all to hear. Dad's face purpled. What is this? Your greatest hit. I stood, voice carrying to the next table. Plotted my murder for payout. Classy. Dad. Gasps rippled, diners staring. Phones out. Jake bolted. Lily dissolved into hysterics. Dad lunged, but security, tipped off, hauled him away. Cops waited outside, file in hand. As sirens wailed, I stepped into the night, rain cleansing the last ghosts. Not happy ever after, but free.
Alive.
And damn, it felt good.